as I make my way. The fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame is no surprise. I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side Ho, where they know my name.
Oh yeah, what up, what up? Fantasy news today, back at ya.
Wizards like a motherfucker.
Hell yeah, man, you know how it goes. We got a lot of weed to smoke and not enough time to do it. I will tell you that much, that's for sure.
If I didn't have so many things to do today, I would be on shrooms right now in freeze time.
Yeah, I will definitely be on some shrooms very, very soon. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. All right, let's see who's up in the chat because the chat is extra lit right now. Antonio up in what up, bro?
What's happening, birthday twin?
And he said, "Happy birthday, Hustler! You the man, Antonio. You the man." Hess in the building. What up? And he shouted out, "Happy birthday, Huss!" Yeah, we're about to get some cake, some mushrooms, some trees, and some football all going all at once. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Peanut butter and waivers.
Don't mind if I do.
Niner MMA. Nice. We got some draft picks are flowing. These drafts are finally moving a little quicker now. Everybody got the lay of the land. It only took 2 days.
You know, I mean, even me, I didn't know. I don't get no alerts on this shit, just like everybody else don't. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I get the Antonio alert. He's like, "Bro, you got 47 minutes left," and then you text me, "Don't time out." I'm like, "Oh shit!" Then it was another 30 minutes of me thinking who to pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see, it's crazy because like sometimes I'll get an email alert and like it'll pop up and I'll just see it, like, you know, like you're about to be on, you're up next or whatever. And then sometimes I'll even get it from the app. You're on the clock and this and that. Just got it like right now. And but it's weird. It's not like every single time. I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
All my teams are top heavy, but rather top heavy than not heavy, as I always say.
Yeah. Dang, I thought you were gonna let me finish that off. I was ready.
If you like paid attention to me right there, I was mid-sentence trying to remember my own saying. Like, how does it go?
Emil in the house. What up? He said, "Happy birthday, bro." Thank you, sir. Oh, and yeah, hold on. Let me get all this weed ready that Heisman sent over.
Yeah, I gotta request the good folks at Heisman send me some joints too. You feel me? Yeah.
I thought I had a joint in here somewhere. I got a couple bags.
It's funny because, man, I got to try the Heisman weed in Vegas, but then the ones that I got, fucking, that was the one that my boy was holding and he took at the club.
Oh.
Yeah, those motherfuckers are just. And then I said, man. He's all, "They threw it in the garbage." I said, "You think that garbage has a bag in it, right?" He's like, "Yeah." They're gonna take that bag and they got all these goodies.
Yeah. Yeah, the bag is only the things that they're throwing away.
Right.
Okay, I do got a joint here. We'll save that one for later, but we got a few different kinds here. So I got the Barry Bonds post game. Oh man, of course I go for the post game right away. We got the Eli Banning halftime. All right, so we'll do this in the order that we're supposed to. I got a Cherry Rice post game, and then we got a Jesus Skittlesworth pre-game. All right, so let's pre-game it how we're supposed to do. And Emil in the house again. I think I said that he shouted us out, but appreciate you 2 times. And
shout out to Emil.
Juggernaut said, "What up? What up?" Or no, what's up? And he said, "Happy birthday, Hustler! Appreciate you, appreciate you." And man, it's so funny. I wish there was just more time in the day. I had all these ideas of things that I wanted to do. Go check out the video, the little reel that I posted, kind of like the get hyped video for this show, because I think it was pretty cool. And shout out to Bogey for finding some clips to use.
Oh shit, I didn't get to check it out yet.
It's maybe I should just like play it on here, huh?
Yeah, fuck it.
It's dope. I like it. The only thing that I wish that I could have done is like right before, because we did put a Ricky clip of like one of his like dope plays, just in the NFL, and like before that clip, I wanted to get the clip of Cuba. Ricky! I didn't have enough time. That shit would have been super funny though. But shout out to Bakes a lot. What up, bro?
What up, Bakes a lot?
And he said, "Welcome, Ricky Williams, to the dopest, the most electrifying, fantasy football show on the planet." Let's get
bro. There's hella planets too, bro.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? There's hella planets, bro.
Uh-oh. I wonder if it'll let me.
We the dopest on the dopest, bro.
Hell yeah. You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
I ain't never lie.
Let's see. Will it
I'm just a regular Fletcher Reed. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, that's one of my AKs, bro.
Damn it. Well, this shit, I didn't save it. I should have saved it from Instagram, and I don't know why it's not is not letting me log in.
Whenever you post a reel, it won't save it to the phone like it does like when you make a post. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck? That was creepy. My phone just started talking out of my ass.
And for whatever reason, it just will not let me log in on fucking. It won't let me fucking log in on Instagram on my computer. I have no idea why. Yeah, we'll see if I can. I'll see if I can save it. But yeah,
you know what? This is what you do. Go to your Instagram thing, the post, and then copy the link to the post. Like you're going to send it to somebody, and then maybe you could play from there. Because remember, you say you might be able to play anything as long as it's a link, right?
Yeah, good idea. Let's see.
That's all I got, man.
Hey, I mean, shit.
You know what I mean? They just that's not a bad idea. No. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, by golly, Bogart is a genius.
I've been called worse. You know what I mean?
Good stuff. Good stuff. Here, let me.
I mean, it might be like a big letdown. We might only see it in no sound, but you never know. I figured.
No, it's working. Okay. As long as I can put it here. Yeah.
There you go. Look at that.
Ricky Williams coming on the show. Show is starting very soon. Shout out to Heisman with that Barry Bonds. Let's hit a ball while I'm hitting the ball.
It's like a paradox.
Smoking bowls and hitting holes.
Blitz, the draw to Ricky, looking for room, finds it at the 50. Ricky to the 45, Ricky to the 40, breaks another tackle. There he goes. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Ricky. Bye-bye, Ricky.
Over that, kind of a short porch.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely was one of those. I definitely was one of those bringing back the memories. I was saying the Sagittarius, they're the risk takers.
Yes.
It's the philosophers. Okay, right. The opinionated ones.
We will talk about the paint on the wall for forever.
Yes.
It was the broad strokes. You could tell. Oh, that was stupid.
Classic stuff. But that's what's funny about Ricky is like whenever he laughs, like you can tell it ain't no fake laugh because it's like you feel it like it's like coming up through like right in the core. It gets a real laugh when he
no real talk. That's why that was the first clip I chopped. The one that you sent. I mean the one that you put first, right?
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? I'm just you were talking about like the Mission Bay, which is the high school that you went to, for those that don't know. But and he went to high school in the same area, for those of you that don't know that either. But like, so you're talking about just that old tournament, the JV tournament, and he just started laughing because he's just like, damn, I remember that shit.
And so like the actual story, so it's there's like a varsity field, which is like a super, the super nice field. And then you got a JV field, which is on the other side and is literally like an all dirt field, but it's a super short, like home run. And like if you just pull it right down left field and it goes into like the tennis courts, like if you hit it over the fence. So everyone just would like, really big league.
That's what short porch means.
Yeah, it's like really short home run. And but it was a really high fence though as well. But yeah, that's what short porch means. It's like really short to hit the home run. And a lot of people, they would just be every time they hit it, you feel like you're a real big leaguer, like you got to get over this big ass. It's short, but it's like a big ass fence, and it goes onto the fucking tennis court.
Doing one of those, like, you're like, oh, it's gone, man.
Everybody always big leagues and watches it hella slow, if you really got a hold of it. Super funny. And yeah, just imagine Ricky, because he said like Ricky made like professional baseball. He just it was just he played in the off season and that was it. But you can't make it into the big leagues anywhere if you can't hit, because if nothing else, like that's the one thing they look for.
You got to be able to grab hold of that thing.
Yep. And shout out to Trip Poos and Party Like It's Your Birthday. Let's get it.
You feel me?
Yeah. Marco, yeah, said good evening from the future. And let's see. Alles Guten zum Geburtstag.
That means happy birthday.
It's got to be, right?
Did they just put the Guten in everything?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's up with the Guten?
Guten.
Oh, well, happy. Good morning. Is that what you think? Happy and good?
Good morning and good birthday?
Maybe.
Good morning.
Good morning, good birthday. What up, Theo? What up, Dennis?
Guten's birthday.
What up, Timmy? What up, Derek? What up, Pete? And Niner said, y'all repping highs, man. Since y'all high, man.
Highs, man.
So funny. And that was one thing that was kind of cool, is like Ricky even given the origin story behind Heisman. And he said it was one of the dudes, he has all the autograph signings and all that shit. Like, we see his shit all over Pristine Auction and everywhere else. And he said, someone asked, can you inscribe it with Heisman, but like H-I-G-H S-M-A-N. And he was like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, let me do that. And yeah, then everything, it fits. It's fitting. If anyone could do it, it's him.
It's crazy. So, I talked about doing a podcast for like 6 months before I started doing the podcast, right? And what I'm saying? I was trying to think, like, okay, I know the name of the show. I wanted to be like Playmaker or something, because I just did that track with Iffy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, this track is hard. Like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, we got a title, a theme song already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that song had nothing to do with like when I was trying to do a podcast. It was just like,
yeah,
oh my God, I'm gonna use this song for the podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because like you said, it's just a fly song. There's just a whole bunch of sports innuendos in there.
Exactly. Right. And then fucking my man's, you know what I'm saying? He was coming through, you know what I'm saying, allegedly to pick stuff up, right? But then he was like, he goes, and I had the studio, I was getting everything set up.
And no, right. Tino, you did not miss Sticky Icky Ricky. He's coming on at around 2-ish. So it'll be a little bit. We'll talk about some news and stuff before he comes on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So like I got the studio, I got everything set up, the mics and everything, you know what I mean? And the dude walks in, right? It's my boy. And everybody that knows me is giving me money, everything, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like I just had some Burger King, you know what I'm saying? Burger King give me money, you know what I mean? Like just it's giving me money, everything. He walks in, he goes, "This is Give Me Money studio?" I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And he's a dickhead. Fuck him. Yeah, that's my boy, but he's a dickhead, so I'm not gonna give him no credit. I won't even say his name. He leaves, and I'm like, there it is. It was right under my nose the whole time. And I was like searching for something like CNN, MTV, BET, some kind TBS. I wanted an acronym or something, you know what I mean? And I was like, boom, right there, the GMM, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fire.
Like a ton of breaks. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Let's see.
Let's get to some news.
Yeah, and Marco said, yes, happy birthday in Germany. Said it was pretty good how you said it. I like it. And Crispy said, I said, happy birthday, old man. What up, Crispy? 37. Getting up there. Almost as old as Crispy.
I turned 38 last November. And like I had a moment in the morning, right, where I was like, oh, I'm getting old, right? Because like I was all hurting, like waking up. I was like, oh, I was like, and then I started thinking about like the homies that are like dead and gone and shit. And then I got all sad. Like damn, I started thinking about one of my boys that died when I was like 18. So I'm like, damn, I already outlived him twice.
Damn, yeah.
You know what I mean? I started like, you know what I mean? All these things. Like, then it hit me like, oh shit, I'm alive in this motherfucker. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm beat up, but they can't take me alive. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? That's what's great about your trip around the sun every time. Like, hey, we made it again. Let's keep this thing going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So happy birthday to you, my brother.
Yeah, and Dennis said you are young, Huss. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Age is just the number of how you feel, right? Like, so I don't know. When we were like 20, like, yeah, people who were 40 were like old ass motherfuckers, like, I mean, but as you get a little bit older, you realize like, man, like 40, it really is the new 30, right? Like, I mean, if you're not like old and crusty, by that point, which we are.
Man, all the people that raised me were always like 9-10 years older than me. So like, it just always seemed like, okay, it was always going to get flyer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because I didn't know no bum ass older cats. And then even when I look back at it too, when we were young and those older cats that were like kicking with us, but they weren't getting it, but they were like thinking they're OGs just because they're older than us. You know what I mean? But they were like broke, like those fools were whack. I'm glad they were around too. Perfect example of what not to be. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the first to go too. When you get older, you go through that filtration process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like the ones that you don't really need around you no more. You know what I mean? Or choose to have around. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I might have been on motherfuckers list in that same sense too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go around Bogart no more.
I mean, it's funny how your dad put it though. The
ones that matter, you let them know they matter. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, they're just decoration.
Yep. Hell yeah, man. That shit's funny. And yeah, just extra. Why you got all this extra decoration?
Right? He would just say that to me in front of like hella people in the studio, but they wouldn't know everybody's high in there.
Yeah.
Because you get in the studio, you know what I mean? It'd be like 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? This is when I had like the house studio too. 3 a.m, you come in and start smoking. Oh, you guys are loud. I'm like, you can hear us? Like hell yeah, they can hear us.
I gotta come in and smoke your weed.
You got all this decoration around.
No filter, right? Like don't need to have a filter when you get older.
You know what I mean?
I guess that is one good thing. Like you really don't give a fuck anymore when you get a little older. Because we'll just tell people how it is now. And like, if you don't like it, well, guess what? It's just how the world we live in.
I can't even say we got 2 words for you because I got several words for you. If you don't like that. Yeah.
And of course, if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Hey, it's so crazy because when you think about it, he used to wear like the little baby girl ponytail right here.
Yeah, and I mean,
and then like you have the thong underneath his little Spanx and shit. I'm like, this Billy, Mr. Ass too. Yeah. Like that, you know what I mean? Like kids wearing Mr. Ass shirts, like in the 90s was crazy, bro.
It really was, man. It really was. They could never be duplicated either. Never.
Right.
And what up, Stevie? Dynasty Life Fantasy in the house said, happy born day. Huss, he said, what's good, Bogey? What's up, everyone in the chat?
What up, Stevie? The last time Stevie was on with us, I don't remember that stream. And there were some borderline discussions that Bogart was having with the world, apparently. So we had to take that one down. But for the most part, it was a hell of an episode. Shout out to Stevie.
Marco said, when you're over 40 and you wake up with no pain, then you know you're dead. Oh, man.
But bro, I that was crazy because I didn't even remember that night, bro. We were drinking vodka. We were having champ talk, bro.
Hell
We
yeah.
streamed all day, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we streamed all day.
Yeah, 'cause
All
we
the
did
way straight. I don't even think we. Oh yeah, we did stop, and then we did the night. See, because then I don't remember that part.
You already blacked out by then.
Yeah, like I jumped in like an Uber, got another bottle, came back. You know, it was just cruise control, Luigi. Just fucking.
Yeah. Oh man.
Damn, I don't remember shit for that night.
Nice. Tino said, Rookie of the Year, 1985. I like it, bro. I like it. I'm 86.
Nice.
Crispy said, a bunch of pups.
Yeah. See, I'm 84. So, you know what I mean? Everybody respect your elders. Okay.
Yeah.
85 and beyond.
And Peacock said, I just want to smoke and watch anime after work, but I have a bunch of grown-up shit to do. That does sound like grown-up shit to do. Watching anime and smoking weed.
You know, damn, I hate grown-up shit. I have to do some grown-up shit right now. I'm trying to file for this fucking, you know what I'm saying, for the other property that we have for rent. All kind of shit we could write off. You feel me?
Yeah.
All the shit we have to do. And then like you know what I'm saying, Sacramento, you have to if you're the owner, you have to pay the water, you know what I mean? For the tenant. Yeah, so you know, my mom lives there, so she pays for it, but it's like, you know what I mean? The water's in our name. So it's like, you know what I mean? We need all the fucking all the mail, you know what I mean? We gotta file all this shit. I'm pretty sure nowadays I can get it online now.
Right.
But,
probably. There's gotta be a way. There's gotta be a way.
Gotta be a way.
And there we go. Dennis said 1979 here, bro. There we get it.
Let's go, Dennis.
There we go.
This is 40s.
And Crispy said you're too damn young to have back pain. Man, everyone can have back pain if you don't like, if you never like.
Bro, when I was young, I used to try to fuck like, bro. I don't give a fuck, bro. If I wasn't tall enough to ride that ride, I'll take down a 6-foot woman, bro. I didn't try to do all these kind of, you know, I threw my back out a couple times. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I was doing that move. He's like, did you see me when I did the Dougie? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I was hitting the Dougie on him.
Oh, Marty said, what's Ricky's intro music gonna be? Huh? Let's see. Yeah, what should Ricky get?
I mean, you can hit the classic Rick James. I feel like that's like people of that ilk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come in with the Rick James, Mary Jane.
Hell yeah, super classic. All right, let's get down to some of this news real quick. And let's start it off with man, just I hate seeing like T-Law limited in practice, like even though it is a Thursday. Like I know you might as well like, you know, try to rest him as much as possible. I just wish we didn't have to read it. I wish I didn't have to read it because I want T-Law to move on, but I don't know.
Is it because he's a Libra? Is it Hustler?
Dude, it's
I've never seen someone so mortified before. He's like, oh my God, T-Law. It's like he's a Libra.
I used to think differently of you, T-Law, and it all changed in one fell swoop. I don't know if I can fuck with T-Law anymore.
Eminem's Libra.
Yeah, but we're just talking about
he just falls right off the rocker hump. Right back to rehab.
Because it's not Libras. If you're a Libra and you play tight end, like yeah, you're all good in the hood, you know. But at quarterback, though, like I don't know. Let's see, Derek. You say, you know what I got to say about T-Law?
He hates him. You know what? This is what I think. He's been questionable ever since he got that toe injury. You know what I mean? And he's been limited practice and going out there and like, you know, quote unquote, handling business. See, that's the thing though, is since he acquired that toe injury, he ain't never really had those blow up games. You know what I mean? But then again, too, he had played the Jets, right? That was that first game, and it was a short week, right? Help me out here. Then he plays the Titans. You know what I mean?
Tina said, I like how we evaluate players on their birth sign. All that's due to Ricky Williams, you know, and everything that he does for astrology. And so
hold on, let me grab something. This is my daughter.
Okay. So me and him had me and him had a little bit of a little project going where we were like I created a whole big sheet of like the top 10 players at each position, like the top 10 finishing fantasy players per position over the last 10 years. So I don't have the 11th year. I haven't added that on there yet. But as far as like QBs go, the Cancers, the Aries, and the Libras and the Scorpios were kind of like the worst out of everybody. So those are just 4 signs that I really try to avoid, because Dennis said, what's up with the Libra sign? So when it comes to the QB, that's just one that we kind of that I'm going to be kind of avoiding. I really am. It may not always work, because there may be some exceptions to the rule, but yeah. And Tino said, where does Sagittarius rank? In the QB department, they rank second over the last 10 years. And heavily because of Aaron Rodgers and because of Russell Wilson. But right behind the Leos, who are the top sign for QBs, and then right above the Capricorns, which are the top 3 in QB point scoring. And Tino said, I played outside linebacker in high school. So let's see. Ooh, man, it's crazy. See, so for the linebackers, Sagittarius is actually the least amount of it's the least amount of top 10 finishes in the last 10 years. It's like flipped. Cancer is the top. And yeah, it's crazy how it's almost like completely switched around for the linebackers compared to like the QBs. But yeah, Sagittarius is like at the bottom. Yeah, and Juggernaut. So let's go. Sagittarius, baby. Let's get it. And Brent, he said, hey, man, I got a dynasty question. You able to answer it for me? Shoot it in there, bro. And don't forget, guys, we got a lot of giveaways or a lot of raffle items that we're going to be doing today. Let me see here. Hold on. I totally forgot I was supposed to pull these out before the show, but we'll do it now. But we got, hold on, where are they? Where is everything? All the beanies and everything. All right, we got a couple things here. There you go. Thanks, baby. You know which side is which?
I remember what I told you.
Yeah.
They're all like a gram.
Okay. All right. Got my mushroom chocolates. We're all good in the hood for the birthday celebration. So I'm going to tell you where to follow Heisman and everything. And thanks, Trip. Thanks, bro. And Marco said, I don't believe in zodiac signs. We Geminis are very skeptical. I like it. I like it. So some of the raffle items. We got the Heisman with the poof ball beanie. You got the Heisman beanie that you always see Bogard rocking. Yeah. We got the Heisman socks, and they come in black and in white. Also got the Ricky golf towel, the Heisman golf towel. It's got the little Ricky signature in there. And then we got some keychains as well that we'll throw in with everybody's. And the Heisman Pelican cases, got a bunch of those. So get in your YouTube super chats. And also, you guys ready for this? I set up a way where you guys can super chat me directly. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to Hustler Super Chat. Sorry. 420superchat.com. And then you can leave a super chat there in increments of $5. And that'll go towards the raffles that we're always doing. So make sure, go get some in there right meow. And we'll see how that works out. But yeah, Hustler Super Chat.com or 420superchat.com. 420superchat.com. All the super chats will get you entries into the raffle that we're doing today. It's going to be a bunch of winners. It's not just going to be one. There's going to be a bunch of winners. So just make sure you get those super chats in. Yeah, and Antonio just threw in a $69 super chat.
69, dudes.
There we go. That's going to be a shitload of entries right there for my man Antonio. You the man. Thanks for showing love as always, Antonio. All right, let me get these in. Make sure don't miss any. You the man, Antonio. You the man. All right. Appreciate you, Antonio. This bowl is for you, my friend. This bowl is for you. All right. And I appreciate if people could go show love on Instagram with that reel that I shared over there. Share it to all social, share it on Instagram, you know, whatever, post it to a story, all that stuff. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. And all right, here goes Brent's question. I'm in a 12-team dynasty. I have Mahomes already, but the guy who has Kyler also has Fields, and I like him a lot. If I could get Kyler for a good price, should I go get him? Well, I'm gonna say yeah. I mean, it's a dynasty league. I wouldn't be trading away a bunch for Kyler because he's probably not even going to be playing next year, and he's really a backup for your team anyways. If you're just playing a single QB dynasty, hopefully it's a super flex. If it's a super flex, I like it even more. And go get it. And Tino said, I never had a chance. Nah, man, it's not in your DNA, bro. It might not be in all the Sagittarius's DNA. But I'll tell you, though, for the Sagittarius, for QBs, could have had it there. Sagittarius is the top RB, is the most at Chase. Yep, Ricky's coming on. Supposed to be on around 2-ish. So we'll see what time the wizard shows up today. And but Tino, yeah, Sagittarius, top of the running back charts, 19 finishes in the top 10 in the last 10 years. That's the most for any sign. Little bit upper middle of the road. Upper middle of the road for wide receivers. 9 finishes inside the top 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th highest out of everybody. Kind of middle of the road, middle of the pack for tight ends. Jimmy Graham is the one who brought up the Sagittarius numbers for the tight ends. Besides that, not really too much going on over there. Bottom of the barrel for the linebackers. Bottom of the barrel for the D linemen. Above middle of the road for the DBs. So yeah, man, you could have been a wide receiver. You could have been wide receiver, running back, or like a DB. Like those were the areas that you would have had to get into to shine. All right. And Brent, he said, no super flex, but I know another guy who would trade me more for Kyler. If you're just getting pieces just to trade because, they hold value, in your league, like, yeah, go for it. I mean, that's, I was just talking about you picking him up as if you're going to play him because I don't know the guys in your league and who will you get Kyler and then you could sell him more for then you got him, always try to do that if you can.
My bad. Did y'all hear the blower hella loud?
Nah, you were behind the scenes.
Okay, cool. No, because my pops, right? He's like, oh, let's smoke. I'm like, oh, come on. I'm like, come on the show. Let's just, I'm gonna introduce you. No. Smoking on the side, right? And then he's looking, look at this so much. You know what? And then he pops out the trunk, pops a blower. He's like, look, you're always leaving a mess. Like, I'm like, this fool been here for like 2 minutes.
Get your shit together.
Already, yeah, right? Back to being the little kid. Oh, Rose, never clean your room. He's just
I'm calling you Jay every time.
Look at this Jay, so messy everywhere. Leaves everywhere. There was a storm. He says, I'm like, what am I gonna do, Dad? The leaves just blowing all in my shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll sweep it out here and there, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm the type. I'm like, the leaves ain't killing me. You know what I mean?
That shit is funny.
That blower was legit though. I let motherfucker pop the blower out the truck like it was the Strapola. You know what I mean?
Like it was nothing.
It was like it was the heat thing. Hold on.
Yeah. When your pops talks about going to the trunk, yeah, he's coming out with some different type of heat.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. And then I told everyone the way that you can leave a super chat now. I mean, if you have Apple, just shoot it to me the way you always do. But YouTube is a way, but also now you can go to 420superchat.com and you can leave increments of 5 over there. And all those are gonna whatever you throw is gonna go towards the entries towards all the Heisman giveaways that we're doing today.
You feel me?
Hell yeah.
Let's fucking go.
And Derek said, I feel you, Bogey. Fuck them leaves.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, especially because it was like, so look at this. Check this out. It was storming as fuck. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Tino
Trip was asking about this, about, how bad it was storming and all that shit.
Tino can attest to it. You know what I mean? It was just bad everywhere, right? Like, super bad. You know what I mean? Especially for our standards, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even for like Seattle standards, you know what I mean? But like, it was just going, bruh. And then today, it's just perfect. Because tomorrow there's another one coming, you know what I mean? And that shit's gonna go through like the weekend. So we're at like 90% showers in the Niner game, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. Run, take the under.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Damn. Yeah. That's gonna be some bullshit. Gonna be some bullshit.
Yeah. But these are like storms, like one after another. Just
right.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But today, and I thought that was tight because it's my son's birthday and your birthday, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know what I mean? And Hus, what was I doing the other morning when it was fucking thundering and raining? I was out there running that shit. It's fucking crazy when you hear that thunder. Well, first you see the lightning, so you know it's coming. Oh shit, here it goes, right? And that rumbling, and you're outside, and you just feel it. It's like, it's crazy because that's like Mother Nature's just you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot.
Makes you know how minuscule we are.
For sure.
Humbling.
And I forgot. Should we play those videos that you sent me?
We got some birthday videos, man. Check us out, friends. You know, we had some via satellite. You know what I mean?
Let's see. And I got my mushroom chocolate here ready to go.
Let's go.
About to get fucked up.
I'm a micro this little something. You know what I mean? Why not?
Yeah, I'm gonna go small with this one because it's like an eighth, maybe or more in this whole bar. So I think like this could be like my entire like rest of the night, just like little pieces here and there, and just space it out over the night.
Yeah, because it's funny because I'm taking the little man to I don't know, I think we're taking to one of them little slide jumpy things. You know what I mean?
Oh, you got to, man.
Yeah, whichever the fuck that my girl was talking about. But yeah, we're taking to one of them joints.
All right,
shit's about to go crazy.
Dang it. All right, here we go. This is Spencer the Guru.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Guru Nation, 420 crew, what it do? Just wanted to give a quick birthday shout out to my guy Alex, the fantasy football hustler, the most notorious man in the fantasy football industry. Happy birthday, bro. Enjoy your day, man. We just getting started.
You the man, Spencer. You the man.
Yeah.
From the Bay to Vegas out to NOLA.
It's like a motherfucking... It's like a constellation, B.
All right. We got that from, our man Antonio 420. Been showing me love forever. Appreciate you, homie. Let's see.
Happy birthday to the man, the myth, the legend, Hus.
Yeah.
Antonio.
Birthday twin. You know what I'm saying? We connect the dots like constellations.
Appreciate you guys. And then, of course, Cannabis Guardian Angel showing up.
What up? What up? Cannabis Guardian Angel in the house. Checking out these plants and smoking on this birthday joint with you, Hus. Wishing you a very happy birthday. May all your dreams and all your wishes come true, player. Keep hustling. 420 crew for life. Peace.
For life.
For life. Man, you guys are awesome. And fucking man, Hess. This has been so cool knowing Hess for like shit. It's been like, I think this is like going on like year 3 year 4 of knowing Hess, because this is gonna be going into our 4th season here now. And it's so funny because like I've been around a lot of people, and I've been around a lot of people who fucking bullshit and tell stories and like you know, just everything out there. And like, man, like even like when Hess like first like, you know, first meet him, he's in the chat, you know, just like everybody else, asking questions and shit. And then I got like really sick, and he's like, bro, you can't be hitting the bong like that. You got to be like dabbing or vaping or something. He's like, you're like doing edibles. He's like, I'm gonna send you some shit. And I was like, okay, for sure. And he sends me like, you know, one of these stash like rigging one, you know, one of these back in the day, and had a magical butter machine, and like what the fuck, like this is fucking crazy. And then I go look, and the rigging one is like $300, like, so I'm like, oh shit, like what? And then he tells me, he's like, man, I work with people in the cannabis industry and a lot of different companies. And he's like, watch, man. He was like, we're going to get somebody dope for your show. Like one of these days, it's going to be like a dope ass celebrity with like a cannabis brand. And they're really going to like feel the vibes of like, you know, like you're really doing a weed show on YouTube and like mixing it with sports. And he was like, all these sports, these athletes who are like getting into cannabis, like, I know we're going to find someone fucking dope. And then it ends up being Ricky Williams. I mean, throughout like all of this, and that's what's so fucking crazy. Fucking
and
awesome.
what's cool too is like, because of the other behind the scenes stuff, like that he was about to like, you know, go in to partner with Ricky and Heisman, and you know what I mean. And you know what I'm saying, and like, you know what I'm saying, it's just dope because then you know, all the behind the scenes stuff, then it's just all like coming together, like, you know, and being knowing Hess, and like, you know, he won't tell us exactly, like listen, it's not official yet, but you know, and then you know, yada yada yada, right? Then when that shit like, remember the Takao shit? He said that shit like fucking a minute ago.
Yeah,
he was like, yep, I think we might be getting Method Man shit.
Because even like when he first hooked me up with like Ricky and the Heisman crew and all that. I mean, man, that's like early stage. Like when Ricky first came on the show, they hadn't even dropped Heisman in stores or anything yet. It was just merch. They didn't even have the tree like available.
That's right. And they had like the Brady wearing the jersey and the, you know, or holding the jersey.
That was the next year, like that he came. Like
that was the next year already.
That was like after the Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure. Okay. So the first one he came on, it was like October of 2021. Yeah, 21. Mm-hmm. Yeah, about a year and a half ago.
That's right. Then he came on after the Rams won that thing.
Yeah. And then he came on another time a couple months after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we did the Monday night watch party with him, and that was fucking super dope. And Ricky's repping the IDP life because all football players, you know, matter, not just the offense.
Mm-hmm. Bro, I've been campaigning so hard to get punters in it, bro.
Fuck that. They don't matter. Kickers don't fucking matter.
I'm like, well, all you motherfuckers that like kickers because I hate them. You know what? Well, what about the punters then? Put the punters in there. Oh, no, now you don't want punters. Oh, but you want kickers.
And I talk about, and one thing that's kind of crazy is like, you know, with IDP, I guess one of the reasons why it's so easy to find IDP players is because we get to pick from the crop of the 11 starters that are out there. I brought this up. I brought this up a couple days ago with Hess and was telling Bogard, like, it was a crazy mushroom epiphany. Yeah, like, so that's why it seems like there's so many players to go around compared to offense where we're only picking from 6 out of the 11.
And like, you better hope those guys are fantasy viable.
Right.
You know what I mean? That are even like start worthy or whatnot. Like, you know, you think of Baltimore, who do you start there? I don't know. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then you get to like, you know, you get to like the Bengals, and it's like, you might be like looking at, you know, Irwin as a motherfucking like a WR5 on a week. You know what I mean? Like, because they got so many options that like, you could roll a dice on some of them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It should be like, yeah. But then again, yeah, bro, all 11 like on defense. Like, how many times did a fucking a Browns middle linebacker go down and just that next guy, you just plug him right in fantasy?
I mean, shit, we saw three times just this year.
Just this year. You know what I mean? It's just like,
and you could
like
go all the way back. You could go all the way back to when I first started getting in like heavy IDPs, like 2007 or 8, and DeQuell Jackson for the Browns, middle linebacker. Like, there's a real throwback for that ass. Like, he was the guy who like first put me on to like the middle linebackers in Cleveland, because it literally the trend just kept continuing after he left.
Yeah, could be just like in office, they draft that position well, and then they were like, you know what? That's why in the movie they drafted Vontae. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, just because we're in mid-season form and mid-game form, might as well get over it, switch it up to the halftime here. Let's see what this is all about. We got that Eli Bananing.
Nice.
Okay.
That's one of their more clever names.
Yeah.
I like it.
And that was funny. That was one of the things that Ricky was super excited to talk about too, how they have fun with like the names of the strains, because he was like, we have the pregame and postgame and, you know, all that, but we have fun with the names of the strains too. And it's always, you know, it's always something on brand with the genetics, but it was just funny. Like, he definitely gets a kick out of getting to name them. And Hess said, how was the Skittles worth? Okay, let me pull it back out here, because yeah, if I'm going to be a sommelier, I better be getting my sommelier on over here. So let me see. So,
he's a sommelier, man. Let's go.
So I like the Skittles worth. I mean, it wasn't super gassy. It was like, and this isn't really the best nug, but I was pulling off of this one. So it's got some orangish hairs in there. You know, the rich greenery. It's definitely more of like fruity, kind of citrusy versus like gassy, but hit real smooth. And got the instant head rush, you know, from it as well. So
it's a little sativa.
Yeah, that's what you want on a sativa. You want to get that instant like head rush.
Skizzy.
And yeah, and has said not gassy at all. Yeah, not at all. It yeah, he said it's got to be more of a citrus chill. Yep, exactly. It's real smooth, and you kind of, I mean, the sativas. You want a sativa to smack you in the face a little bit. Just feel like it is kind of like that headband, you know, ish feeling. And that's kind of what I got from that one.
Hey man, you know, a good sativa, bro. I just start solving equations, bro. I just go to the whiteboard, bro. Just fucking equations, bro.
And Ricky just shot me a text and he said I'll be right there. So he'll be in shortly.
I'm telling you, bro, that good sativa.
Oh, and there we go. Right as I say that, right as I saw it, because I saw the text a few minutes ago. But here he is. Ricky Williams is in the house. 420 crew. Let's show some love. Hey, what up, Ricky?
I'm great. What's going on?
What up, Ricky?
What up?
How you doing, bro?
Smoking on some of the Eli Bananing right now, because we're in mid-season form right now. So
where'd you get that from?
They sent it over. Lane sent it over. Made sure you had some flavors for the show, for the big smoke sesh. Yeah. And so I'm trying to be a weed sommelier over here. So I'm kind of explained how that was, and I just smoked the Skittles worth, and super citrusy. Kind of gave me a little smack in the face, you know, like we want sativas to do. And set fruity. The mood off right. Yeah.
It's nice and fruity. That's probably my favorite of the first cultivars that we released.
Nice.
You know, even I came up with the name because it's a Jesus OG and a watermelon Skittles cross. And everyone was like, we're stuck. You know, we're having difficulty coming up with a name, and maybe it's my age. You know, he got game.
Yeah, he got game.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I was like, oh, Jesus Skittlesworth. And my wife was like, what's that? I was like, until we watched it, you know. And there's a scene like early in the movie where he comes to his uncle's house and he has a present for his sister, and it's a bag of Skittles. And I was like, okay, this is meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. The universe.
Yes, exactly.
So how's everything been with you, Ricky? How's the Heisman life?
It's great. You know, we're hustling. I think we just killed it this past month, December in Pennsylvania. So it's exciting, you know, because we go into a new market and we're not exactly sure how it's going to go, but it's, you know, blowing our expectations out of the water, pun intended. So it's good shit.
And I know we had a few people who they live in, was it where'd you go before? You were in Massachusetts recently,
Massachusetts,
right? Like yeah, there's a couple people who said they went over there, were able to grab some of the Heisman, and
like, I'm on a world tour. You know, I'm going up to Seattle tomorrow. It's nice, you know. We're about to go into Arizona before the Super Bowl, and so it's nice spreading our wings and being able to visit these different markets and get to know who's sparking greatness around this country.
Hell yeah! And shout out to our man Derek, who's in New Jersey. He keeps saying, "Got to get it in New Jersey." He's waiting for it.
We're coming.
Yeah, he said they got like the weed mall out there. He's like, it's like a weed mall, but they don't got the Heisman. Like, we'll make the phone call. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you though, like traveling this way intentionally and getting to see what's going on in each of the different markets and how people like interact with cannabis, it's mind blowing, you know, because it's like you go to different teams and different fans have different traditions. It's kind of the same thing in the cannabis world. People have different modes of consumption, you know, different ideas, different tastes and cultivars. It's pretty cool.
Growing up in Cali, I mean, it's crazy because, like, you know, I mean, this just seems like the lifestyle Californians were living for like forever. Mm-hmm. So what do you think, like some of these new places, you know, like Boston, Pennsylvania, like what's the reaction out there now that weed's like completely legal out there?
You remember that scene in Half Baked where he goes in and he realizes like all the weed that's there and he's like, it's like that. It's kind of like, it feels kind of like that, but I'm kind of joking, but it's what you were saying, like growing up in San Diego and just being around it all the time, you know, it just was part of it. It's just part of the lifestyle. But in these other markets where it's been highly illegal and there really hasn't been that culture, it's new. And it's not as mature and advanced, but because it's new, it's bringing new perspectives and new ideas and different kinds of people into the mix. You know, and I think that's what I'm most excited about of the future of cannabis is, you know, it was such a small group of us for a long time, and as that group gets larger and larger, you get more diversity. You know, more different opinions, different perspectives.
Yeah. And I really think, especially here, 420 crew, I mean, that's our community here. I feel like it's one of the most diverse like communities around because like all races, all religions, I mean, multiple countries that were spread across. And so, yeah, it's awesome.
Species.
I'm telling you, at the end of it's funny. At the end of the day, though, it's real because I tell people, you know, cannabis did way more for me than football did. And you know, there's more cannabis fans in the world than there are American football fans. So
yeah, for sure. Especially now that everyone doesn't have to hide it. You know, I mean, now we're finally getting open out there. Well, at least everywhere else.
Yeah, finally made it to the playoffs. Like this is my favorite. This is my favorite time of year.
Yeah,
favorite time of year.
And Marco, our man, we call him. Yeah, he's Marco from the future because he's in Germany.
Because he's in Germany.
So he's ahead of us here. And he says, "Happy birthday!" And he says, "Who will win this weekend and who will win the Super Bowl?" Why don't we start there? You got any thoughts on who's your favorite to win, Ricky?
The Super Bowl to go all the way?
Yeah.
So because I grew up in San Diego, I have to give my hometown pick the Chargers. I think they've been really hot. You know, playing well towards the end of the season. But aside from my hometown pick, I live in LA now, so they're still kind of my home team. I really like the Bengals.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know why I love the Bengals? Because they're led by a Sagittarius, Mighty Joe Young. Let's go. Shout out to my guy, Mighty Joe Young, bro.
Take your shot.
Oh yeah,
yes.
I'm gonna be on, and even though ever since the Chargers left San Diego, I've cut the alliance from them because San Diego and LA, I mean that might as well be New York and Boston. I mean it's usually not cheering for the other teams over there. I'm gonna put, and the Chargers have been they've been slacking, man. Like leave it up to them to lose a meaningless game like that and just like totally look like you're gonna be a one and done.
And get some of their players injured in the process.
And Mike Williams getting hurt, like that was all bad. I think I'm gonna put it on Mahomes. I really think just their defense. I mean, I think it's better than when they actually won the Super Bowl and they were kind of like maybe one of the worst defenses to ever like win a Super Bowl. Their offense was just so polarizing. Andy Reid's got him clicking. People are getting healthy. I'm nervous about Kadarius Toney because he seems like he hurts people around him somehow. But outside of that, I think it's going to be Mahomes leading them to victory.
I thought about the Chiefs, but what I've noticed in playoff football, okay, is that you got time to prepare and you got all this game film. And if you don't have like dogs, I don't mean one. You can't do it with just one star player. You got to have dogs.
Yeah.
And I just think KC defense looks good. They got Mahomes, but I don't see on offense. They don't have dogs. Like the game they lost to Tom Brady and the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
You can see Mahomes played his ass off, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah. That was it's crazy because that game, I mean, IDP life, Levante David, he covered Travis Kelce for 100% of that game. Like he wanted that challenge. And I said that he should have been the MVP because if he's not covering Kelce that whole time, like Kelce gets more than the 2 catches or whatever he had. But yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. What about this weekend?
I also think the Bucks are gonna be dangerous. I'm picking the Bucks. I'm picking the Bucks over the Cowboys for sure.
I think the Bucks get past. We got a lot of Cowboy fans in the chat too, and they didn't want to see Tom Brady in the first round.
Yeah, I understand why. Like you let Tom Brady.
The Cowboys play scared.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, that's the game I'm probably most looking forward to. Then I got the Vikings. Right, I already talked about my Chargers. You love the 49ers defense. I saw what they did.
Let's go, bang bang.
Did to my Dolphins. I hate to do this, but I think the Bills are going to get the Fins. And I already told you what I think about the Bengals.
It's crazy. What do you think about the whole with everything happening with Tua? I mean, that's NFL is going to be. I mean, they already have been changing with the concussions, but all this Tua happening in prime time, it seems like everything's like going to start changing a lot more.
Here's what I said this on Levitard. Talking to Dan Levitard earlier this year, and I felt bad after I said it because he started killing it when he came back. But I said football's not for everyone, And Tua has shown, and I'm not doing what everyone else does and say he's injury prone. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe NFL football is not for everyone. It's a rough game, and if you can't take that pounding,
And he's a wee little man for football standards, right? You know what I mean?
I mean, if you have the best offensive line, he gets rid of the ball quick, but it only one hit, as we see. It only takes one hit, and you can't be playing. You can't play scared. I mean, you can't go into a game thinking we have a quarterback that if he gets hit, he's out of the game. He's a great player. He's intelligent. He's smart. He's electric. But the reality is that football, this game, is not for everyone.
Let me ask you something, because like you said, you don't play scared, right? Like I like that you said that because it kind of goes along the lines of what I wanted to ask you. Like, so in the week 18 with the Chargers, it was a meaningless game, but they played their starters all the way into like the third quarter. So is that like, what do you think is going on that sideline? Is like, do the players just want to keep playing, like stay in rep? Because then one of their players ended up getting hurt. You know what I mean? Yeah. So is that a coaching call? Like, is it a philosophical thing? Like, what do you think is the reason why he let them play that deep when it was like a blowout and it was like a meaningless game to begin with?
Inexperience. Okay. So I was at last year. Was it last year? I think it was earlier this year. I was at the opening, the first game of the season, the Rams game. and Mookie Betts was in the suite with me, and also one of the owners of the Dodgers. And at this point, the Dodgers had already clinched; they're in the playoffs, and they were having this discussion about how much to play the guys towards the end of the year. We wanted to be fresh for the playoffs, and the owner's perspective was we want to rest them. We want the guys fresh. Mookie was like, hell no. We need to play so we're not cold and we keep that rhythm going.
Yeah.
And so I think the biggest thing with the Chargers is inexperience. And it is a philosophical thing. But as a coach, as a player, it takes multiple experiences in order to build up your philosophy. And so this is hopefully learning the hard way. It's a mistake, but they're going to learn from it. Because you get to the end of the season and you have to find that balance between how much do my guys need to be to stay sharp? How much do they need to play to stay sharp, right? And how much rest do they need to still be sharp and be ready for the playoffs? And I think, I had a mentor and he said, if you walk the fence, you're not quite sure, you always get impaled. So you just got to make a choice. And I think they weren't quite sure.
What I keep saying about the Chargers,
I love that choice of words real quick. My bad to cut you out. He said, "You'll get impaled." It's I like descriptive things. And that, you know what I mean? That's right through them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess with the Chargers specifically for me, they just always figure out a way to charger it up. It's been this way my entire life, and I wish they would fix it, but
it's always at the end of the season too. Always.
Yeah. And Mike Williams, I mean, that's such a big blow if he can't play, and even if he can play, he's not going to be at 100%. But everyone wants to play in the playoffs. We know that. And look at Dennis. I don't know if we can get a Skull Vikings from Ricky, but he said, "Yo, Hustler, can I get Ricky to give me a Skull Vikings?"
Skull. I wish I had a skull. I wish I had a skull to drink from. Then we'd be good.
What do you think about the Vikings? I mean, they're kind of, their defense has kind of been suspect, even though like for fantasy, like they're actually amazing. But it seems like some teams, like, I don't know, like Justin Jefferson, I really think he needs to hit the weights or something because he gets bullied by some of these top corners.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I think especially, when I played in Miami, we had two corners and they were really good at putting their hands on and bullying young receivers, and the quarterback would get so frustrated when teams would just play us man because our receivers wouldn't be able to get open. And so part of growing in this league is you have to realize when you have a big year that all the other teams are going to be gunning for you, and you have to keep upping your game. And maybe part of upping his game for next year, working on the release and getting in the weight room.
Yeah. Because, man, it's crazy. He got blanked in like 3 of the games. And Darius Slay, Jeff Okudah, I forget who Jair Alexander. So, we are talking, some of the real dogs at the cornerback position, and they held him down.
But this is what I was saying earlier about at the end of the year, right? You got all the film. And you hear people say it's about the NFL. It's the copycat league. If a team shuts you down, you better bet all the teams you're playing later that year are watching that film, and they're going to try to do exactly what that team did to shut you down.
What's crazy, though, is Darius Slay shut him down in week 2. Jeff Okudah shut him down in week 3. It took all the way until Green Bay playing him week 17 before someone really blanked him again. So I'm surprised. And we even broke it down. I showed the whole video. Someone put it on YouTube, like every single play. And it was just Okudah, like punking him at the line. Like, I'm surprised more people didn't try to do it. But
so here's the other part of that, right? So a team, you finish the game on Sunday. The coaches, sometimes Sunday night, but definitely Monday night, right? After reviewing the previous film, they're already starting to game plan. Yeah. And so when coaches are game planning, they have 2 things. They have to say, what do we do well? Okay. And what has worked against this team? And they have to find a balance. Do we just stick with what we do well, or do we take on some of the things that this other team does well? And so some teams, they know they can't play man, and they don't trust their defense to put the corners up tight. And so they won't do it, even though it worked in the past. They have to have faith in their system and the way that they do things.
Yeah.
Hey, he wanted to say what's up to Ricky Williams. Say what's up, dude. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and makes sense. Not everyone's Jeff Okudah, not everyone is Darius Slay, like that's for sure. Cornerback is just seems like that's the toughest position to play out of everywhere. I know everywhere is tough, but you got to run backwards, and you got to be faster than this wide receiver, and you got to be able to figure out where the ball is while you're not looking at it, all that kind of stuff.
And you got to come up and hit people sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to come up and hit big running backs like Like Derrick Henry coming to the outside.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Derrick Henry's a beast.
And he got like literal 33-inch arms too. So he just you know what I mean? You also got to worry about like becoming a highlight reel, but on the other end of it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
And shout out to Juggernaut. He said, "Happy birthday, Huss." And he said, "Salute to the whole 420 crew. Salute to you, Ricky and Heisman." And he said, "Fast forward to the off season. What should my Bears do with the number 1 pick?"
I think they should trade it.
They have to, right?
Yeah, I think they should trade it. If they love their quarterback, I think they should trade the pick and build.
Yesterday on our news show, they did come out with the news saying that they're committed to Fields. So at least they gave that verbal that we've been waiting for if they were going to keep him. Or
what do you think about Fields?
So I like him. The one thing that sucks is the Bears not giving him any weapons to throw to. Like, I mean, look at like Lamar Jackson's like similar situation. Well, not similar because coaching and everything's completely different. But you got this guy who can run. He can throw the team on his back, but he's got nobody to throw to. Like,
that's no weapons. And like, you know, like he has like his offensive line, you know what I mean, issues. I mean, he just takes all these hits, and you know that's really what happened. He got battered, and I got hot when they wouldn't let him. He was 60 yards away from getting the record. I mean, like I know he wanted to get that too, and it was against Detroit, you know, and at that point, Detroit was giving a booty on the ground, so he would have got that. See, all he needed 61.
Man,
he would have, you know what I mean, for the record, for the glory. You know.
That's seeing Tino over exaggerate and said Fields equals Michael Vick. I don't know. I mean, what do you think about that comparison? Because we heard a lot of that all year.
It's too early to say that.
I say
maybe Fields is going to be Fields.
I say Michael Vick had weapons, right? We can say that, but obviously he's explosive with his legs. But something about Mike being a lefty, there was something special about Mike. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's too early to say. That's fair.
Yeah,
too early to say.
And Hess said Fields is a Pisces.
Oh, so is Tua. So is Tua.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
so Pisces have the big thing about Pisces is their imagination. You know, if I had a quarterback who was a Pisces, I want to say there's another quarterback there's a couple of quarterbacks who are Pisces.
Herbert and Roethlisberger are the two that
yes.
made it into the top 10 over the last 10 years.
Yes. So I think with a Pisces player, you got to let them use their imagination, right? You got to give them space to improvise and do their thing. You try to put them in a box and too rigid, you know, they're not going to be able to do it. But if you give them space, Pisces will work magic. I've seen it with Ben firsthand. He beat us in Miami one year, and he did just magic stuff. Got in the end zone as the time ticked away and beat us.
You know, Justin Fields definitely has that. He could create. You know what I mean? It's weird because Tua, I don't know. I always said Tua was timid. You know what I mean? Like he just he took them hits.
Why don't they get him a right tackle that can protect him too? If you're gonna have a lefty, you got to protect the blind side.
You know, I was thinking about this a little earlier, and like when you're building a team, right? You got to say, right? Because you have a salary. You don't have so much money to work with, right? So you got to say, like, what are we going to build our team around? Are we going to say we're going to play really tough defense and run the ball? Are we going to play bend don't break defense and get a lot of weapons on offense and air it out? You know, you got to pick. You got to pick what you're going to do, and then you have to invest and find the right kind of players to fit in that system. And you see, I saw when I was playing, coaches, you know, they'd be missing a couple of players to truly fit their system. You know, but when they get those players, it takes off. I think it's so important, I think, for coaches to be clear on what they want to do and then to attract the kind of talent that can fit into that system.
Do you think Tua, who's going to come over to Miami? How about that? Not even if Tua is going to stay. Who do we think is going to be the QB of Miami next year?
I don't know, but I definitely don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be Tua.
Yeah. It seems like they're a quarterback away.
Give me Brady for the win.
Brady, Jimmy G, maybe. I mean, anyone with ties to the old San Francisco.
I'm not sure. I think Miami needs to just go for like the superstar quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, just take a shot, right? I think ever since Marino, it's just been pretty good, just above average quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know? I think we need to do something about that.
And what up, Hess? He said TB12 to Miami, and that
I like it.
We've been talking about that for a little while, and yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that defense is primed to win. And what do you? I mean, I know what you probably think about their offense, but did you think that they would do? I mean, Tyreek.
Hell no.
1,700 yards.
Hell no. They shocked everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I'd say. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I'd say that to me this past year, that was the most fun offense to watch consistently.
Yeah.
Bengals are fun to watch. I'm a running back, so I appreciate a solid run game. You know, and I think just Joe, like he's on point.
Yeah. Joe Mixon, Mr. Sir Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon. He likes touchdowns and he cannot lie.
Yeah, Sergio Mix-a-Lot is the man. And okay, what about all right, the whole
Sergio Mix-a-Lot's from the Bay. He's not far from where I'm from.
Yeah,
he's from Antioch.
The DeMar Hamlin, like discharged from the hospital and everything. We were like on DeMar watch like this whole time. Can you think of any time that you ever like? I mean, that was the first time they ever suspended a game. Can you think of any time that was anywhere close to what happened?
I mean, because the NFL doesn't suspend games they suspended games for 9/11, and they'll post. I mean, they'll make us go inside when there's lightning. But this is the first time I've ever seen a game suspended like that. Yeah.
And can you remember any injuries that happened that was like anywhere close to that? I mean, we saw grown men crying on the side like right away. Like, I mean, I think they were thinking what we were all thinking. Like, is he like legit like dead?
Yeah, it's scary, you know, because I think to play football, you have to kind of put those ideas like in the back of your mind. Because if you're thinking about them, like we said, you play scared.
Yeah.
But you put them in the back of your mind, it doesn't mean that they can't happen. And when they do happen, they rush really quickly up to the front of your mind, and you have to deal with it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a larger majority of players retire after this season than we have in a while. You know, because football is a wonderful game, but as a man playing the game, you got important decisions to make. You know, because there's going to be a certain point where the risk is not worth it anymore.
Yeah, and to happen to such a young man too, and then on national with a national audience, that was
prime time too.
It's something we'll all never forget because we've all never experienced that. You know what I mean?
And it wasn't even because of a crazy hit. I mean, just the flukiness of the accident, like literally like a millisecond earlier or later, it doesn't happen an inch up or down or any direction. It doesn't happen. Like that's the thing that makes it a little bit crazier.
So, to me, it brings a larger question, into the mix. And because it is that when something you realize is a millisecond, different, is different. To me, that's not a coincidence,
Right.
It's not a coincidence. And I checking out Tamar's Instagram, and it seems like him going through the experience, right? That's something like that changes somebody,
Yeah.
And so when you can zoom out and not be caught up in the football thing and you realize in the larger scheme of life, like this was a powerful moment in his life.
Yeah.
Right. And this is why I love astrology, because it can give us a hint or a clue to be prepared for these kind of powerful moments. And then we're not taken by surprise. And even better, we can actually utilize them in positive ways.
Did you try to look up his chart or anything like that to see if
I did. There wasn't a birth time, but anytime that there's an accident like that or any kind of violence, Mars is always involved. And of course, looked at his chart, Mars is always involved.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Man, but yeah, shout out to him. I mean, they said he's going to be able to be rehabbing with the team right now. And the only other athlete that we heard about this happening to was NHL Chris Pronger, and he was able to get out there and play, and he played like 1,000 more games or something like that.
Yeah, he'll be back. I'm curious, as fans, like how did that affect you guys?
I mean, I was shook, he was someone, we talk about this a lot. Like we were telling people about DeMar Hamlin on our show after Micah Hyde got hurt because we cover the defense. So like we were like invested as him as like, fantasy guys. Like we call these guys, we call them all our children. We call them all our children, the ones that nobody know who they are. We're bringing them to
That's a run-on joke on the show. It's like all the players, the young players that people don't know about, we put them on them when we see them prosper. Like, see, look at our kids out there. You know what I mean? These are our children right here. And and then like it was crazy in prime time seeing that. And on the Monday night on week 7 to close week 17. And for context, week 17, that's the championship week for fantasy. So like
that game meant like everything for like 90% of fantasy football managers. Is a really important game.
Like the championship match, people, a lot of people have, Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, and what's crazy is like after that thing happens with Hamlin is like you've seen some ugliness out of people, like because of their fantasy league. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, not wanting to split the pot or not, just these little petty little issues.
So how did you guys handle that? Did you just take the points when the game ended and said that's it?
Pretty
or
much.
did you?
Yeah. And we just encouraged, because a lot of these leagues has money involved. So a lot of times,
and there's a lot of big money leagues too. Like, that we're involved in. So it was like, but you've seen some ugliness out of people because just like, they can't understand like, someone's life is like at stake. You know what I mean? Like it's bigger than fantasy. But you know what I mean? So to say the least, it was,
and we were streaming here on the show.
It sent shockwaves.
We were streaming here on the show, and then Monday Night Football is pretty much shut down, and there's all these people trying to find answers and everything. So I just felt like I was a little bit of that info, just kind of giving
he stayed on for like 6 hours.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I was shrooming on the show like tough, and I was tripping. I was like, damn, like, did we see him? Did we see bruh just like, you know what I mean? And then my girl's a nurse, so she's watching upstairs. So she comes out, oh my god, this is another, you know what I mean? Like telling me all the things that it could be, and I'm like, whoa, like poor kid, you know what I mean? Like it was.
And how about Peyton Hillis as well? Like prayers for him right now. I know they said he's in critical condition. He saved like his kid, I believe, in
the ocean, saved his kids. I think like plural.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so he's in critical condition right now, also. And I think everything with DeMar is kind of overshadowing like everything happened with him right now.
Man,
that happened. Like, I want to say the same week.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like days after.
I think it's a week ago.
Yeah. So prayers out for Peyton Hillis. He's in the fraternity of mine for sure. So hopefully he makes it through.
He's fun to watch. I got to play against him a little bit.
Yeah. How was that? How was he in? I mean, we only remember him from the one big year in the NFL, but
he was impressive, because especially when you see the big fullback, rumbling down the field, kind of like Mike Allstott. But Peyton was great because he catch the ball out of the backfield. He was like an H-back that could run the ball from the tight end position. And again, it's just when you the great white hope, when you see him come in and like compete. I'm being real, okay? It's like it's exciting.
It's a novelty.
He's a gym rat.
It's like a unicorn. I mean, I call Christian McCaffrey the unicorn. You know what I mean? Because you ain't never seen the white boy like he's crazy. Like he does it all.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so he's amongst the white running back fraternity for sure. Like definitely in the top 10 up there. And
we should do something on that, like the top 10 white running backs. Will we even get to 10? I mean,
Danny Woodhead.
Oh yeah,
we'll get to 10.
Theo Riddick. Sure. Hold on, was Theo Riddick white?
No,
he was white. No.
I bet you there's a list.
I know there's a list, but I'm curious if we can get to.
Was 10. Ryan Matthews mixed? Was he white? I can't remember.
Yeah, he was mixed. He was mixed.
Yeah, he was like mixed.
Nope, that don't count.
Yeah.
I know.
It really all starts with Peyton Hillis and CMC, and then we got
we got Larry Zonka. We got Larry Zonka.
Oh, bro, come on, Rex Burkhead. Come on.
Oh yeah, Rex Burkhead.
Yeah, sexy Rexy.
Marco loves Rex Burkhead. It's funny. Marco from the future, he actually called the Rex Burkhead touchdown. Like this year, he was like, trust me, Rex Burkhead is definitely scoring a touchdown today. And it was the super fluky touchdown where like someone fumbled it like right into the end zone and he just happened to jump on top of it. But man,
he called it. He's from the future, bro. Oh man.
And Hess, you're the man. He said it was cathartic for the 420 crew to be able to process that together for sure. Yeah, because I mean that's really what it was, man. People didn't want to be alone, and so I mean there was more people on that stream, like just like looking for an outlet to ask questions or really just hang out and smoke. And a lot of people who found us, you know, for the first time there, they've been coming back ever since for the smoke sessions.
Wow, cathartic.
Toby Gearhart. There we go. Good call, Marty. Because I bet everyone hated Toby Gearhart when he went to the Vikings. I know Marty's a Vikings fan. That's when he actually did really bad, right? When he was supposed to be the guy.
Oh, bro, what? Zach Zenner? Nah. I was saying that jokingly. I was like,
so what?
Like,
I want Ricky. So it's a playoffs. Best time. You said one of your favorite times of the year. What? What's a big playoff moment that you could think of, whether it was when you were playing or not?
I only played in two playoff games, so I didn't have a lot of playoff experience. Let me see. I think the comeback with the miracle was when the was it the Oilers and the Bills? Is that
the Music City Miracle?
It was Tennessee, yeah, Music City Miracle. Yes. Yes. That's probably my most memorable playoff moment. I think I was a rookie, or it was right after my first year, and I was just getting in, and I was like, "Damn, that's a hell of a game."
Insane. And John said, "I think I missed my question, but you ready to suit up, Ricky?"
Ha ha ha! You know, it's funny. It's funny. I used to think that I was, and then there was we did a celebrity flag football game a couple weeks ago.
Ask you about
that. No, I am not ready. It was the first time like being back in a competitive environment, and what my mind wanted to do, my body was like, and I'm still recovering. That was about a month. So.
Who was LT playing? I know he was no.
He was a coach. He was coaching.
Was T.O. out there?
T.O. was out there. T.O. made some plays. Yeah. T.J. Hushmanzada. He was the MVP. He killed it.
TJ, who's your mama, was the MVP? Nice.
Jordan Carson was their quarterback.
Okay.
You know, he's got a laser. And so it was just him and TJ. Yeah. We couldn't do anything about it. It was a close game. You know what? They actually won on a Hail Mary. TJ kind of tipped Hail Mary in the end zone to beat us. It was fun though, because I grew up a big Chargers fan, and even though they're up in LA, to be wearing Chargers gear and be out there on the field, it was special.
And that was pregame, right?
No, it was we did it on a Monday, so it was right after the day after their game, and a lot of the current players were out there. So
nice.
That was cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
Is there a specific running back that you like right now, like his running style, or just someone that you enjoy watching for no particular reason?
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon. Oh,
he's bringing it. I mean, even though he went to OU, you know, when they're clicking, you can't stop an efficient quarterback and a tough running back that's always going to get you at least 3. You can't stop that. Who can catch the ball? There's too many offensive weapons.
Yeah. What do you think of the Chase, Higgins, and Boyd trio out there, wide receivers?
You know, so in the position groups, you know, so when we come to work, we start the day and it's a team meeting. So we have the whole team in there. The head coach talks to us, and then usually the defense leaves and goes to the defensive meeting room. The offense stays, and we have another meeting, and then we all go into our separate position group rooms, and we have another meeting. And so when you see a unit like that, a receivers unit, it's real, right? When they're all clicking like that, it's because they have a certain standard in that room that they all like are challenged by.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing to watch.
Who do you think is and not who do you think is better, but who would you say is more of your favorite wide receiver if you had to pick one of the young ones out of Jefferson and Chase?
Jefferson. No. Chase. Jefferson until this year, but Chase is killing it.
Yeah. And the connection with Burrow. I mean, that's just that could be that little piece that just gives him the edge too. Because when they're like in sync, I mean, man, like he drops some dimes to him.
It's confidence, you know, when you have confidence that you can throw the ball and that your receiver is going to make a play, and the receiver has confidence that the quarterback's going to throw the ball and give you an opportunity to make a play. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
It was hard when they came out in the white. It was the white with the white tiger joint this year.
Yeah.
I was like, they need to do that more.
I just made the connection. He went from the Tigers to the Bengals. So he's
yeah.
Carried that swag over. Yeah, for sure.
But a Bengals is a tiger, right? Yeah. So he went from the Tigers to a
because they had like the white helmets with the the stripes still.
What up, Chris? And Tino, shout out to Tino for the super chat. Said, can you ask Ricky what he thinks about Coach Prime and Colorado?
I almost caught him up and said, "Hey, you need a running back coach." Nah. I think it's great. I wish more retired players would get into coaching because, I always love playing for coaches who played because we weren't like just chess pieces to them. We were human beings and they could relate to our experience. So
yeah,
I hope more great players get back, and it's a wonderful way to give back.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people were kind of pissed that he left. That he left, and then would go over to Colorado, but I feel like he could only do so much over there as well. I mean, no one's really taking him seriously over there either, as far as like SEC or anything like that, or just the players in general. But now he's going to be able to get more players on a bigger stage.
Yeah, but I think it's bigger. It's bigger than him staying there forever. I think he created a lot of attention. Eddie George is now coaching a team. Ed Reed is coaching a team. So I think he's really started something. And good for him. I mean, I can't wait to watch the product that they put on the field.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. And Hessa said we'll be able to watch any playoff games with you and the Heisman squad in the multiverse or in the metaverse. I mean,
yeah. So we got a cease and desist letter from the NFL. So we're still we had to. I guess you're not allowed to stream.
That means you made it.
It was nice though. It said Eric Myron, aka Ricky Williams, in parentheses Heisman. It was trippy because when you're in the drug program, which I was in for like 10 years, and you get busted, it comes through a FedEx, a FedEx from the NFL. And so I went outside and there was a FedEx from the NFL. My heart started beating real fast, and I was like, PTSD. I was like, okay, exactly. I was like, all right, I'm good. So
that was great.
We'll be back. We're trying to get something done for the playoffs. We're reaching out to bar owners we know, and we're trying to figure out how they do it so that we can make sure that we're not pissing the NFL off as we enjoy football and cannabis together in the Heisman House.
Yeah, because there's got to be a way, because that's really what you guys are, right? Just gonna
exactly.
But you're
exactly. It's a lounge. Yeah,
same thing. Exactly. All right, and let's see. And Marco from the future. My bad, we missed this question earlier. He said, "Good evening from the future, Mr. Williams." He said the Bears could draft Will Anderson with the first overall.
Why would they do that?
Marco just like he said that the Bears are going to draft like a long snapper. They're just going to like completely fuck it up and just like completely botch on the first pick.
I think the safe thing is to stack. You got a young quarterback that you believe in, like build weapons.
Yeah, I hope they could get a good deal done for that first, because if they're going to keep Fields, no way they should be drafting with that with the first. Get as many picks as you can out of that somehow.
Who do you think the first pick should be?
It's probably going to be probably going to be Bryce Young. I don't know if he should be, but
in the event that someone trades that pick, right? And they would probably trade it soon, I would imagine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I thought my Niners were going to trade up, you know what I mean? We traded up to 3, you know what I'm saying? Like, like a month in advance. Like, well, actually like a month and some change before the NFL draft, you know what I mean? So you could do your quote unquote due diligence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would assume like look at Derek Carr, they're trying to deal him right now. They're already saying like, oh, they're shopping already because, come February, he's going to, be owed X amount of money. You know what I mean?
February 15th.
Yeah. So they're like, boom, they're shopping him. Like, and like, I'm not saying that the Bears are going to get him or anything. I'm just saying like in general, like people's trying to make moves already.
Yeah.
Tino said, I think CJ Stroud and Peacock said CJ Stroud to Houston, please. Yeah, it's Judge Davis Mills Lane. Like, he's just not the answer over there.
I like Davis Mills though, but he's just a novelty for me. Yeah, let's get it out.
We just like to drop an RIP to Mills Lane. And
Yeah, RIP to Mills Lane.
What do you think about the QB carousel that we saw? Because I think last time you were on, I mean, it was kind of before all this, before Russell Wilson, moved around and before Watson moved teams. But what do you think about all these trades that we're seeing now compared to previous years?
No, I think one of the most difficult things to do is to go to a new team. Especially if you've established yourself somewhere, because you're gonna have to start over. It's one thing if you've struggled going to a new team, it's like a fresh start. But if you've been pretty successful when you go to a new team, you got to prove yourself all over again. I think Russell Wilson is a great example. But I had a coach, Norv Turner, one time. He sat me down and he said, "You know what?" He said, "There's something in this league where players, when they're at their best, they usually don't get compensated for it, but they get paid more when they're past their prime to kind of make up for it." And I feel like, why would the Broncos go all in on Russell Wilson? Didn't they see him play last year?
Yeah.
That there was something like he fell off, and I'm not even insulting him. I'm saying it's natural,
Yeah.
That
we were talking about that. I went and I rewatched what we did a year ago, and like that was the one thing that you were talking about. Like, what was up with them? Like, why he's looked a lot different. And I mean, the beginning of the year he starts off good, and
he broke that middle finger or whatever it was, right?
Yeah, he's been all off ever since that.
Yeah, this was a strange year for quarterbacks. I think people were shocked by they're still in the playoffs, but Brady struggled a little bit this year. Yeah, and
definitely.
Jalen Hurts impressed a lot of people this year. He really grew up. He grew up a whole lot.
Yeah,
and then Baker Mayfield, the whole Baker Mayfield thing. It's Aaron Rodgers. It's an interesting year for quarterbacks.
Yeah, a lot. It was a lot of it was upside down, and Jalen Hurts.
My Niners are on the third string. You know what I'm saying? The third string, literal Mr. Irrelevant, last pick of the draft.
I watched him play a lot. Brock Purdy, I watched him play a lot in college. I covered the Longhorns, and so I got to see Iowa State play a decent amount. And he was fun to watch. He's fun to watch in college. So much of making the shift is really finding the right system. If you find the right system and coaches that believe in you, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right.
Yeah. And shout out to Chris from Patriot Sports Radio. You the man with the super chat, bro. Appreciate you. He said, "I love this show. This is great sports talk." Hell yeah. And Hess said the last 9 weeks for T-Law, definitely impressive. Yeah. He's a Libra though, and that's one thing. I don't know. Like we had a lot of Libra action in the top 10.
I don't hate on the Libras, man. Hey, Lil Wayne's a Libra.
So are you guys starting to bring a little bit more like astrology into what you're doing?
Definitely.
Kind of sprinkle it in a little bit.
Yeah, and said it earlier. He's like, I like how we categorize guys by the signs now. But give me a little bit more insight into Libras. But I remember us when we were talking. So we've only had one Libra finish in the top 10 over the last 10 years, and that was Jared Goff. That the 1 year that he did good with the Rams. But give me some Libra traits as far as like why it would be good or bad for a QB.
Okay, this is the major difficulty for a QB is the dark side of Libra, and this doesn't show up in all Libras. When we talk about a sign, it's like when you're having a good day, you're at your best. Okay, you don't have to worry about the shadow side or the dark part of the sign. But when you're having a bad day, that's how it's going to manifest. Okay, right. So the thing about Libras when they're having a bad day is they're indecisive. Okay, so I would expect if we do the stats that we'd see Libras might throw more picks than other signs because in the quarterback position you got to learn to pull the trigger. You got to pull the trigger, and if you're sitting back and you're like he's open. And he's open because the Libra are the scales, the balance, okay? And if he's open, who do I throw to, right? It's difficult. So indecisiveness is a negative trait. A positive trait is the other side of the scales, right? Is they can handle a lot of information, because they balance stuff. It's an air sign. It's intellectual, okay? They might know the right thing to do, but pulling the trigger can sometimes be difficult.
Yeah. And even though all of this isn't raining, 100% true, just the patterns and everything that I've noticed from all this. And it's like the Leos, those are the top dogs when it comes to the QBs. I mean, led by Tom Brady over there, bringing up the average. Sagittarius right behind, and then Capricorn right behind that. And then for the Sages, you got Rodgers and Wilson, and then for the Capricorns, you got Drew Brees. So there's a couple guys bringing up the averages.
Like I think where we can even like play with this, and it's not so much who's better or worse, but we can get an understanding of different styles of play.
Yeah.
Different styles of play. Like I was saying, the Pisces typically are going to be more imaginative, more free form, making it work, right? Also, Gemini's going to be more free form. Leos, the king, right? They're just going to be there, right? Leaders. Leos usually are really strong leaders. Gunslingers. Sages are gunslingers. Yeah. So there's a certain style. The other thing is that when we sat down and you look at a chart, it's more than just the sun.
Right.
There's a whole lot of other stuff going on. And so, as we get more in depth, we can find even more specific patterns because we're looking at more data points. But I think a good place to start, because you're even just with the sun, you're starting to notice patterns.
Yeah, definitely. And Jalen Hurts is going to be the new age Leo who's going to be bringing it up. Him and Kyler. And man, what do you think about Kyler? I mean, he gets the big bag. I going back and watching what we talked about a year ago, I was so off Cliff Kingsbury. Like, even it's been like more than a year, but man, he's a bum with his play calling. So I'm glad that they did move on, and we're gonna switch things up.
Yeah, it's tough when you get the big bag to not at least to somewhat get a big head. I think it's just part of the process, but it can only expand so much, and then you get humbled. It comes back down, and now it's time to get to work. He's still so young as a player, and he's going to keep developing. But obviously, he's exciting. He's fun to watch. I think he's one of the mobile quarterbacks that is just as efficient and effective with his arm.
Yeah,
and I think that's why I like to watch him.
Yeah. What do you think about that clause that they put in his contract? They put it in there and then they took it away, but about how he had to do so much like film study throughout the week.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what they were doing, because if you look at the best quarterbacks in the league consistently, not all of them, but a large percentage of them, not because they have to, but part of the habit that makes them good is the preparation, is the time they put in. I don't think you should force it. It was like when I signed my contract, they put a clause that if I was over 240 pounds, oh my God, they put a Twinkie clause in my contract. We're grown men, right? You gotta let us be grown men. We're not gonna be perfect, but you gotta let us figure it out without punishment.
What do you think about Kyler's choice to wait? I think he waited 5 weeks or something like that before he got the surgery.
Yeah. I think it's good. I think, surgery is real. You're changing your body for the rest of your life, and I think it's something that players should spend more time thinking about. It's easy, especially we get caught up in these conversations, we forget that these are people, and that the effects of this game potentially, are going to be with us for our whole lives.
Yeah. And now he gets to play Call of Duty all year. So I'm sure he's going to be super excited about that.
That's probably why he did it. Wait until the season was over. So then he had free time to just do rehab and Call of Duty. That's what I would have done.
Yeah. Cause man, it's going to be interesting over there for fantasy football. I don't think we're going to be targeting at least anybody on offense for the Cardinals. IDP though. I mean, some of these defensive guys will for sure
for
sure be doing that.
I'm saying every time I'm watching a game now and I see a pick, I'm being like, IDP. Everyone's looking at me like, what the?
I like it. I'm going to start making a bunch of shirts. I'm going to have to send you one of the IDP live shirts.
Please.
Yeah. And Dennis says Libra's in the house. Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
For the tight ends, though, I mean, if you're a Libra and you're a tight end, I want you on my squad because
I'll say Libras are smooth. That's the best part. They're smooth, right? They look good. They move. They just the way they move, they get it. And it's fun to watch.
And the top Libras in the game for tight ends, Travis Kelce and George Kittle.
Yeah, so. I think part of that is because the scales, tight ends it's like a flex position. Meaning they have to block. Sometimes they even run. They catch screens. They do everything.
Yeah. definitely.
Yeah.
I wish I'd just let a guy, guys like Kyle Pitts. I wish he would have went somewhere where he didn't have to block. He could just go and just be able to catch, and that's it. Not even have to worry about blocking.
Exactly.
And Marco says, what do you think about the possibility of 2 NFL games in Germany next season?
I love it. I love the NFL going international. I think it's a wonderful game, and the more we can spread this game around the world, I think it's better for anyone involved with football in the NFL. What I like about it is I've traveled a lot, and I've coached football around the world, and there's some really good athletes international. And I think as the game spreads, we're going to see the NFL become more of an international league.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't wait till we start getting some players from Africa and Germany coming into the league, and it's going to be exciting.
Yeah. And what do you think, like from a player standpoint? I mean, is it tough to go over there, to go over to Germany, go over to, cross water and play?
I never went across the water and played, but I'm the kind of person I love to travel. So I would love it.
Yeah.
But, some guys are like, I just want to be home, rested, relaxing. This is a lot of travel. I'm tired. But for me, I love it. It's all part of the experience.
Yeah. And shout out to our man, Crispy. Crispy's a plumber by trade, and he's like watching us from under a house right now. And he says, Ricky, you can come crawl under houses with me. And he's out in Texas, so he's always shouting you out. You're the man, Crispy.
That is great.
And everyone,
hey, Alex, I'm sorry, Alex, I got to jump. I got a reading right now.
Okay. Sounds good, Ricky.
Yeah, it was great hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
Until next
time.
time.
Ricky.
All right.
Appreciate you, brother.
Be easy.
See you next time.
Peace.
All right. And I was just about to say that all these super chats are going to go to entries. And yeah, we were going to shut it down right at 3. And we're gonna do the raffle now. And let me see. I think we're gonna have about 4 items that we're gonna be raffling off right now for Heisman. So let me get this shared over here. All right. And then I already started taking some chocolates. I'm gonna take some more chocolates right now. And yeah, I'm taking some chocolates right now, bro. You can't have these chocolates. And I'm already.
Let me have
one. No, you can't. No, these are
I took a little itty bitty when I took earlier when I said I would match you. I only ate a little itty bitty.
We'll get you some different chocolates,
Shout out
bro.
to Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky's a man. That was awesome. Best one yet, and more to come. All right.
Yeah, Ricky's the dude.
And yeah, so cool to get him here, talk about the playoffs and the teams, and we're definitely going to be getting more into the fantasy astrology crossover and the sports betting astrology crossover and all that. And Derek, you the man, bro. Did you do another one? It was 1 or 2.
What's that?
I'm not talking to Derek. Was it 1, Derek, or 2? I got it. I got the one that you said first.
Let's do some giveaways.
These chocolates are about to get me fucked up right now.
Yeah, happy birthday, bro.
All right. So
Happy birthday, bro.
We're doing 3 giveaways right now.
And my son got a little mini cameo, huh?
Hell yeah, he did.
That's dope. My son got a birthday shout out from Ricky.
Hell yeah.
Good thing we didn't do it. Good thing we didn't do anything where this gets taken down. This is not my joint too, right? We can chop it up. I'll chop it up and shit.
Hell yeah. And Hess said, I was just going to intro Crispy to Rick. He said when Ricky said Crispy, that was him signing the hat for him. That's tight. That's fucking
tight. Yeah, that's tight.
Super tight.
I remember I seen that video.
And you know what? We're gonna smoke some of this post game now. Let's get into this Barry Balls. And Peacock said, "Ha, Noble all interested once he heard chocolates." I know, right? Didn't care about nothing before that.
Can't have those, man.
heard chocolates and then coming out the woodworks. All right. And Emil, you the man, said great interview. Hell yeah. Dope that Ricky's just a friend of the show. Ricky Williams, just just gonna be the man, the myth, the legend, just coming chopping it up with the crew.
Coming through running shit.
And it's gonna be happening about once a month. We'll know we should know about it a little bit in advance. And but yeah, this was super dope and many more to come. And see like it how it was like, hey, you guys really have implemented astrology into the way you pick players and stuff. And
it's funny because before I knew like stats and shit like that, like this is like when I first started playing like in 2013 and 2014, like I would pick players because of their signs, you know what I mean?
You were cutting edge.
Fuck yeah, man. Especially I'm like Aaron Rodgers. Oh, he's a Sag, man. I gotta have him. He was just money for years. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Come on.
Chris, you the man. You the man.
You know what's crazy? He said there was something going on that week. You know what I mean? When he was like, and then he's like, anytime there's something violent or something like that goes on, Mars is involved. And he said, sure enough, it was like whatever. I mean, I don't want to butcher what he said, but you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. He said that the Mars planet was involved. There's always some shit in Mars. That some shit is getting wild and hectic and all that. And yeah. You got to figure out when Mars is involved. It's time to chill. It's just time to chill at home and smoke a lot of weed. And man, yeah, that was dope, man. Ricky's the fucking man, and so it's awesome getting him to come on here and chop it up. We got to get some different chocolate. We're about to go out pretty soon. We'll get you some there.
Give chocolate for me now.
Okay, go ahead, go out in the living room. And has said, glad you enjoyed, fam. Hell yeah. And I think he's talking to all of us, including Chris, Patriot Sports Radio. You the man. And Peacock says, Mars is my science planet, bro. I'm fucked. Damn it, bro. Damn it.
Oh, shit. Hey, that's crazy because the story of Mars, like in the emerald tablets of like the 12 emerald tablets of Thoth or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's just some crazy stories on Mars.
Crazy shit. Crazy shit.
Yeah,
all right.
Conquerors.
Here we go. Yeah, Derek. They're all the way up on my desk. He can't get them. All right, here we go. So we're gonna have 3 winners over here. Gonna get some Heisman swag, whatever you choose. And boom, it's Chris from Patriot Sports Radio, Antonio, and Dennis. All right. So you guys can pick from any of the Heisman beanies, the Heisman Pelican case, the socks. That's Chris from Patriot Sports Radio, Antonio, and Dennis. You the man.
Dad, give me some chocolate.
You gotta wait. We're almost getting off the show. Relax, bud. Relax. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I gotta go too.
Yeah, and Dennis said, whoop, whoop. Marty said, congrats all. Hell yeah. John said, caught late because of work. But he's definitely my top 10 favorite Dolphins player. Hell yeah, dude. Ricky's the fucking man. And Chris said, hell yeah, bro. And anybody can have anything. We got multiples of each. And one of the things that you turn that off, Noble. And one of the things that we got to do. All right, I know you're being crazy. He wanted to add some sound effects behind the scenes, and everyone go follow.
Yeah,
you're a savage. Go follow. Go follow Heisman on social media. Go follow Ricky Williams on social media. But their IG, their Twitter, all that, they're trying to get more and more followers up there. And yeah, we're going to be doing more stuff with them. They said they really want to take everything we're doing to the next level this year. So yeah, going to be a lot of cool stuff that we're going to be involved in with Ricky. So yeah, be on the lookout. 2023, it is going to be awesome.
Hell yeah.
And Derek said, enjoy your B-Day. This is going to be super dope, man. We're going to Meow Wolf, Area 15. Everybody I always tell is going to be like, this is like the
Put it on the timer for 2 minutes.
All right, cool. Go out in the living room and take the charger with you. Take the charger with you. And
5 seconds.
I know how it is. I know how it is. Don't even shit. I have 4 of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, we're just trying to finish the bowl. All right. Just relax, chill. Yeah, we're gonna be going to
I remember see my 9-year-old, right? The second one it's funny because like when she was little, be like, hold on, 5 minutes. She'll go to the timer, boom, set it for 5 minutes. Like on the iPad.
Yeah.
You just sit there waiting.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, she really set the timer on me. And she's like, boom, timer go out in 5 minutes.
Oh, dang it. And I didn't even, and Juggernaut, my bad, because I know you asked this somewhere in there. Hess, where in Las Vegas can Juggernaut find some Heisman tree? Where can he find some Heisman tree in Vegas? Which dispensaries? And Hess said everyone could be a winner too by grabbing some Heisman swag online. Definitely go over to Heisman.shop and use the promo code 420crew. Throw the logo up there. Yeah, go get a Heisman hat. Go get some Heisman swag. Go get that Letterman jacket. Like, man, everything they got over there is super dope. Go get some swag. And Steven said, oh shit, happy birthday, bro. Hell yeah. And Juggernaut did not hear that Universal's making the horror attraction next to Area 15. I don't know how damn, man. I just want to do mushrooms and like not be scared.
I don't like seeing scary things either. I remember as a wee tag, I watched one of the Jurassic Parks on mushrooms.
Fuck.
And that shit, that T-Rex, and I'm, oh shit.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
So then I just do funny things now.
Yeah.
Watching Ace Ventura and stuff like that.
The Meow Wolf, I guess it would have been crazier if I'd like never been there before, but this time I'm probably going to be doing like, maybe 2 grams or so, 2.5 grams of of some chocolate. So we'll see how crazy it is, though. I mean, it's nothing but crazy colors and secret passageways and like all types of shit.
You're about to like go into like dimensions.
Yeah, and we're going to try to document as much as possible. Marco says Brock Purdy offensive rookie of the year. No way, man. No way. It's gonna be Garrett. I think it should be Garrett Wilson. He had over 1,000 yards. He had bunch touchdowns.
I mean, how many games did the Brock start? The Brock says, I think he started that Miami game. Was that the one?
Let's see.
You know what? It's not important.
Let's see.
I don't want to. You see how I did that? I don't want to judge my team. I'm like, I don't want to. It's not important. Yeah. Those are still little accolades.
He came in the middle of one game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was right. He has started 5 games.
Okay.
And then he came in the middle of one, so 6 games.
Nah, it'll be like. I mean, Ken Walker has a solid case. You know what I mean? I mean, he got like 1,000, right?
Okay, so Heisman is not available in Nevada yet. Okay, said it's coming to Nevada in 2023. Let's go. It's crazy because, like, I guess I wonder what happened, Hess, because when I went back and watched the Ricky interviews, he said that Nevada was going to be one of the top 5. I think he said. And Marco said, comeback player of the year will be your most favorite of all time. And
I got a shake too, bro.
Yep, we're going to get out of here. Yeah. Let's peace out. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. We got a couple drafts.
Happy birthday, Big Brad.
Peace.
as I make my way. The fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot. Put your life together.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side Ho, where they know my name.